Greetings Farm Box subscribers. Welcome back to another episode of our video recipe newsletter, whatever we're calling this thing, from the Glorious Kitchens, back of the house at Cha Bella Restaurant, downtown Savannah. We've had a little turn for the better on our weather. At the very least, we're not worried about frost for the next few weeks, which is awesome. That gives all the farmers a great opportunity to, get some seeds in the ground, do all the plantings and get going so that we can start harvesting. And for probably be March to beginning of April, we're going to start to see a lot of the beautiful traditional spring vegetables that are available around here. So we're really excited about that. And so are the farmers. They are just thrilled. They're ready to put this frost behind them and start growing some beautiful stuff. Let's see, we've got quick update this week. We have I'm going to do a little test run on our local seafood. One thing, thankfully we're known for here, one we have always used as part of the drill when we opened this restaurant was that every stitch of seafood that's going to be coming out of here was going to come from our local waters. All right, so that means scallops from the Carolinas. That's our shrimp from right basically in our backyard. All of our fin fish, the flounder, the trout, the tuna is coming from right off the coast. The groupers, the snapper banks, that's basically what we do here. So there really isn't a place. There's a couple of places in town. Every now and then you can find some reliable seafood, but I've just been hearing it not on a consistent basis. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this for the first time. We're going to take a little small sliver of our subscribership and we're going to offer that to you guys. And if we get a great response and you guys are happy with that program, we'll expand it and we'll get it. We'll work on getting it. But it'll probably be just probably a percentage, maybe 20 or 25 households that we can offer this to. And we'll do the shrimp and the fin fish and all that. I'm going to send out an email to everybody explaining that program. And if you're interested, please email us back. It'll probably be coming from Carmen. But let us know what you think. I'm real excited about it. Have caught the day of fish. That's just an amazing thing. So without further ado, this week's recipe is going to include this cute little hydroponic watercress that we did. Remember this guy from last week? You're getting this again this week because I absolutely love it. It's fresh, and it doesn't get fresher. And this little Chia Pet thing is basically I just grab this around the base and cut just like that. And what you're left with is this little growing medium thing, and I don't know, maybe throw it in some water, see if it grows. Stick it on the windowsill, and maybe you'll have a little Chia Pet watercress thing happening in your house. All right, so what I would do, I'm spilling all over, is give this a little rinse, all right? And then if you have a salad spinner at the house, that's the way to go, all right? And I'm just gonna set that aside for now. All right, now the best thing, what I did right out of the gates at my household is I did this. Basically, it was just some chicken cutlets that were breaded, and an easy little pan sauce with some grains of watercress on there. So one of these little chef secrets is the best breading technique in the world. All right, and the easiest way to do this is in your flour. Now this is a pork chop. Your recipe has chicken. It's really cool. This is like kind of a traditional Italian Milanese style. They do this with a veal chop. It gets like this big, and you have the big bone hanging off of it. It's really neat. Great presentation. And this is a little bit out of order, but basically it's flour, then into your egg with a little bit of water in there, right? And kind of let that drip off just like that. And then into your breadcrumbs. Okay? Just like so. Now this is a panko or a Japanese breadcrumb. Feel free to use an unseasoned Italian. I don't like, the seasoning in there because it sits in that cardboard box for God knows how long. All right? So that's basically what you're left with right there. Make sure you get all your excess shook off. So I'm just going to do a quick into the pan. Now basically, you step over here, what you're going to see, get those raspberries out of the way. Basically what you have here is a pan with a decent amount of oil in it on medium heat. All right, now that's been heating up for a little while, but on very low. But that's basically what you're looking for, that amount of sizzle right there. That's kind of it. Now that's going to go, let that go. I'm going to crank up the heat a little bit. Now these are a real crowd pleaser when you do it this way. It's thin. This is pounded out a little bit so you have it nice and crispy. And it cooks nice and fast too. It really does. All right. Interest of time, I'm going to flip that over. I would probably let that go just a little bit more, but I think you're starting to get the idea. You see that bone on there. You can do this with a pork chop, just to use that recipe. It's really very easy. All right, now that's not 100% cooked yet, but you know how these videos are. We got to keep YouTube happy. So we're going to do this. All right, I'm just going to pop that sucker right on there, just like that. Place that there. Now what I'm going to do to create our pan sauce is you're going to very carefully pour off your grease. Alright, pour that off, nice stable container. Now, you've got this hot pan, right? So you take your garlic and your onion. Alright, I'm just going to get that going around. Lower your heat and just really get that nice and soft and gentle. Sweat it, is what we like to call it. All right, now what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna pour my wine in. You're gonna have to sweat it a little longer, but again, time is our friend. Now your wine's gonna go in, you're gonna let that reduce, all right? Then you're gonna put in your capers if you want to, your parsley, right? And then your butter. Now basically, butter is going to act as the thickener for the sauce. All right, that's a nice little bubble right there. Now you'll see how this works. Once your butter gets in there and you have this boiling like this, you're going to see how the cold butter basically emulsifies this sauce to create a pan sauce. Yummy, yummy. Make sure you reduce that wine a little bit more. Someday we'll have the ability to edit. So all my video professors over at SCAD don't yell at me anymore for making amateur videos. Someday, guys, don't worry, it's coming. All right, so that's pretty much that right there. Now you can season that with a little bit of salt and pepper as well. I'm going to turn that off. Now real quick, here we go. Bing. I'm going to give this a little chop. I'm going to do this first. Use some spoon. This is a great sauce. Oh, squeeze your lemon juice in there. That's one thing I didn't do. Make sure you squeeze your lemon juice. Follow your recipe. Beautiful. Look at that. All right. A little bit there. I'm going to go around a little bit with some of our Snappy infused oil. Use some olive oil if you have some at the house. Go a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Use these stems. This is good stuff, man. Absolutely good stuff. Just go right on top. Nice and spicy. I did a little roasted sweet potato. Roasted sweet potato blend, hash, if you will. Then I'll go with a little bit of sauce on top of that. Now this is a great way. Just wilt that down just a little bit, and you are home free. Enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions, and happy eating.